Hello guys, you're watching Good Doctor Who, and today we're going to be reviewing episode 6, and yeah, there weren't much towards it, and I'm not that much of a fan of it. I mean, I get what it was trying to do, and I know people are going to go, oh, it's political, the plastic, and we're poisoning ourselves throughout the atmosphere and all that sort of stuff. But honestly, I thought that idea was actually pretty good. I know we are doing that, and it weren't on your nose as episode 3 with the plastic and being something as a virus and aliens trying to basically put a plague on us to find out how they can save themselves, and it backfires on them, and the Doctor just lets that race go, which is interesting. Like, let them die. When she has an antidote, she could have used a bit of the antidote she used for the humans to save the others. But yeah, Graham was pretty good in this. He didn't do much, but as always, it's just Graham. Ryan, I liked that the companions were separate and all that. Really, I thought that worked pretty well. Yes, obviously, Yaz had her own little moment of investigating on her own. When Chris Chibnall says he's got a police episode specially for her, is this it? Because there weren't much, if that was dedicated for Yaz to do police work. I mean, yes, she's getting there with the police work, but she certainly doesn't act or look like a policewoman at this stage. And a bit, Also, we have the alien through the gas masks, which just reminded me of Series 1. Are you my mummy? Yeah, it just reminded me of that. And when you were like, oh, we need to see the face, there weren't even an alien face. They were just humanoid. And are they really humanoid when they're aliens? And I don't know, just like, I was expecting more of that. Yet again, we landed in middle of the episode. We started off midway through with the Doctor and the companions solving all these problems, which led in from episode 5 when they went off and they got all these signals of disasters to get through. The sideline characters were pretty boring, I thought. Like, very boring. Probably the worst we've had this series. I would even like episode 3 better than this. Because episode 3 gave us something. Like, Benny! But, Benny, that was a pretty funny thing, but it's dying now. It's a pretty dead joke now. But at least it gave us something. Whereas this is just like, the dead birds were interesting, I guess. The different planet, different areas on the planet was pretty good. I did think Solarians at one point, Sea Devils, I did think them when we were underground, underwater, which reminded me from the John Pertwee era. We didn't get that. Yeah, there's not much to say. Yeah, just the virus was easily solved in the TARDIS, and if you wanted, the TARDIS has its own lab, surely. So couldn't we just seen another room in the TARDIS and saw a lab that way? And we would have, instead we went to someone else's lab who turned out to be the villain. Is another plot twist. But I didn't really care about the plot twist. Yeah, so the alien species were pretty naff. The birds were interesting with the... Oh, I did like the Auton reference. That was pretty cool. I was like, ooh, you've denied it's the Autons. Oh. But yeah, I liked the plastic with the birds, and I liked how we were getting poisoned by it, which we're not noticing. What else? Yeah, the Doctor is alright in this. That was it. This is it. There's not much to talk about this episode, and there really isn't. 50-minute episode, and there was not much to talk about. But next week looks interesting, looks exciting, and maybe it's a classic villain. I don't know the name of the classic villain, but I've got the image in my head of someone who looks similar to like a bird outfit from maybe the second or the first Doctor era. I think it's the first Doctor era. It looks similar to that in the black and white episodes. So maybe, but Chris Chibnall could bring back another classic villain. A classic villain who we definitely haven't seen in New Who. But probably not. It's probably completely different and new. But yeah, I look forward to next week. I'm going to just rank this out of 10. I kind of want to give it a 6, but I'm also thinking 5. You know what? This is probably the worst episode of Series 12 so far. which is probably controversial. Maybe loads of people love this, and maybe episode 3 is always going to be the hatred. But you know what? Yeah, this is the worst of series 12 for me personally, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, which is my lowest ranking. I think I gave it a 6.5 or a 6 for episode 3, and I gave an 8.5 and an 8.5 for episode 1 and 2, and I also gave an 8.5 I think for episode 5, and Nikola Tesla got an 8 or a 7. So yeah, definitely this is the worst, and I'll do a series ranking at the end of series 12, and we'll work out after series 12 is finished where this episode will go in the rankings of the episodes. But yeah, join me next week where I will do a review of episode 7, and I will also be doing continuous throughout. Also check out my old videos of reviews, and also I've done a lot of theory videos this time. And I've also got a second channel, the Higgins Chat, where I will review not Doctor Who, because it's a Higgins Chat. It's the second channel where I don't talk about Doctor Who. I talk about James Bond, Star Wars, Back to the Future, Transformers, Rick and Morty. I'll review episodes, movies, and also I may do reactions to trailers. So yeah, that's pretty much my second channel, where the first channel, Go Doctor Who, I'm going to be reviewing episode 7 and onwards. So stick around for more, comment, rate, subscribe, get the little bell, and I will see you guys for the next video next Sunday.